Hello guys, give me a second. I think we are good. It would seem so. 1 second. Just setting this up as fast. All right. Looks like we are about to be ready on my end. I did sort of get rushed into this game, so I have just entered the game as well, and hopefully I'll get a confirmation in chat that everything is all right. But in today's match, we are having Jill commanding Hati down by the left. He's opted to go with a tactician and got a warlike as a trait in the beginning. Seems to be a pretty alright start for the Hati opening. Double barley, always nice to get some food going, and sheep, and seems to be doing alright. Hopefully he will be able to clear this camp somewhat soon. It seems to me that he's been a bit behind the clear speed, but I might be mistaken. Yeah, because if we are going to his opponent, Heitlinger commanding Tamalikam, and I gotta appreciate that. That's always nice to see Tamalikam. We see he seems to be a bit ahead already. He's already cleared this camp, which makes me think that I may have missed something, or how come Gel is behind on the clearing? Maybe he lacked a few critical hits. That could be a change in the tempo. Not certain about it, but anywho. Uh, all right, and looking all good. Yeah, seems to me that Hati is a bit behind in tempo, but we'll see if he's got anything cooked up. Both players opted to go for the tactician opening, which is pretty rare, I'd say. This is just going over the map for a bit, just having a few messages and stuff. So sorry, guys. The map we're playing is the Dota script, which is known for having these 3 lanes with quite a lot of cities on this map, although they do have quite the distance between each other in the mid lane. But down by the south and in the north, top lane and bottom lane, we do see some pretty close sites. That is gonna cause some kind of tension and action, I would imagine. Even so, I don't think we're gonna see a lot of early aggression from either nation. The early tech path. Oh, with that said, we do see military drill coming in early. Maybe Tamilikam is looking for some sort of aggressive opening. Just locking myself into the actual game here. And Hati, what technologies have we opted for? We opted to start with divination, and then maybe the free worker, it would seem. And we do have a few workers already. Landowner's family, then into the classical riders. I like that. I like the second warrior. Always good stuff. And now, hopefully, we'll have this side cleared by the time either or this settler is gonna be ready. Honestly, you could probably save yourself this initial warrior. I'd argue settler is most likely better, and that is one of the benefits of going with uh, the first leader being a tactician. Gonna have an easier time to clear, which I think is something to take advantage of. Da, 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 da. Back to Tamalikam. We do see already another settler on the way. From the get-go, I would say Tamalikam has gotten the better beginning. We got Swift. Ooh, it seems like we got Bloodthirsty as our common bonus, and Warlike is specific to Hati. Um, Military drill early on. One thing I'm noticing is the special tradable resource you get at the beginning. Wood steel has not been applied to any of our cities. I would normally say that is advisable from the get-go. Get that placed most likely in your capital and you're good to go. Um, I like granaries early on. We're gonna have a lot of food production. You could most likely opt to go in and build a farm or two quite early. It's actually not gonna delay your settlers by much when you have hearty landowners, and it's gonna provide you a lot of growth. It's gonna provide you a lot of food and gold. So I highly advise going for a farmer, and we do see just that. That is good stuff from the get-go. We've cleared this side, and we also have this side down here ready. I hope we're gonna go for a worker or a settler right now. We do have everything we need for it, so that would be advisable. Uh, we opted to rush a farmer with civics. That is interesting. Um, I mean, it is... Oh, never mind, we do have a judge. So clearly we bought it with gold. So that is probably gonna be just fine. And this is one of the benefits of this start we got going right here. We do have a lot of culture with a lot of culture resources. It seems like both players has been harvesting that quite a bit from the get-go, which I quite like. And what do we see here? Misclick, that was supposed to be artisan seed. Oh, we apparently made a mistake here in picking our family. Artisan seed. I see. You have double trader opening and then you wanted artisan seed here instead of traders. I mean, it could be worse, I guess, because this is the one nation in the game with only 3 families, so you will get all your nations, families in the game. It's always an awful feeling to have gone with one wrong family and not being able to go back on that misclick. So I see why you would like artisan in here because you have gems or gold, lots of nice mines. But this is not a bad trader seed either. All the gold is gonna benefit greatly from the fair, so I think it's fine. That's not bad. Artisan can also go up here, so honestly, not too bad. Artisan can also go, yeah, right here. That's... If this note wasn't here, I wouldn't have thought anything of it. But I'm not an expert on Tamalikam. And hello, scientific. And I like this. I like this having often with landowners you end up getting a builder early on, and it would seem we didn't get a builder this time around, which is quite rare. However, a judge always nice when you can get to develop, and clearly we invested some time in harvesting, getting here immediately, double bought the farmers. Some very juicy tiles. I imagine this worker is going to go right here, go for the granary, and we can just pump out anything we would like. Patrons. Yeah, I see it. Patrons, nice side. Double precious resources. Are we going to do anything with our literature? Don't know. We shall see. And warrior already going in this direction, ready to clear the barbarian camp. He's probably gonna require some help. You could maybe promote to a ranger, which would be nice. Um, I wonder if he can get there before it upgrades. If if this guy comes in and helps, perhaps that's a possibility. Um, this is gonna be difficult to clear later on as there are no woods or rivers or anything. But anyway, yeah, granary here, double shrine. I wonder if we're gonna, yeah, we are looking to most likely get a religion going quite early. And even though we went with Hati and we had we do start with the husbandry, we've opted not to go for sheep as of yet. And we opted for a shrine earlier, which I think is an interesting choice. This is going to be great when we eventually get to groves. It's going to take a little while, but this is going to provide a lot of growth, but we are going to be going to have enough growth for the time. And back to heitlinger. And just to introduce the players a bit, heitlinger, a fellow I haven't talked to him, I haven't played with him. However, in Game of the Weeks, I've seen him a lot of times coming in with some very impressive records, actually doing some of the impossible saves. He seems pretty skilled. And Gel is a gent I haven't played with, but I remember him joining the Discord like half a year ago and asking questions, and I tried to help him a bit, and he really listened, took advice, and was really eager to get better, which is always a sign of a great player looking to improve themselves. So I think he's been in the community for uh, less time compared to Heitlinger, but he seems eager to learn, which is nice. I feel you, Cyan. Um, that's for me. It's when Rome is facing off against Greece, but oh well. Um, only one shrine so far. We haven't spawned Hinduism. I wonder which tech route we've opted for. Clearly, military drill first, and or stone cutting, then military drill. I think we both have this shrine. He could have opted to put it in the same position, the growth shrine, but it's not gonna matter that much. Do we have a lot of growth resources? Not. We do have some, but not a crazy amount. I don't see this being a land consolidation rush. I think this is more sort of yeah. I wonder what tech path I'd go in this map. I'm really looking forward to what's gonna happen up here. Those are some very goddamn close cities with water passage. So that could be an interesting hotspot for action later on. Uh, we opted to go back with our warrior. We were perhaps a bit over eager, a bit too optimistic in our initial take on this site. I think we could have done better, honestly. I don't get how we lost that much HP already. But again, alright, it's two marauders, I see it. So we do need our tactician to come in. The good thing about the tactician is gonna hit back. So I think I think we are gonna keep up with the expansion down here. It looks to me like, and look at these very juicy already. Why didn't we go for another granary right here instead of this quarry? That seems like a mistake. You don't need the stone, you need those absolutely crazy tiles with another granary. That's a small mistake, Mr. Jill. Need that granary right there, right now. And worker. Tamlicam still just cruising along. Still haven't opted to put in the steel anywhere. I say militia. Why are we building militia? It's stunned. We good. I was scared there for a second. It almost looked like we were going to lose our unit. Um, Seems to me like we are fine. And yeah, we are beating Jill right now on the expansion front. I wonder what the science is looking like at this moment in time. Probably pretty close. Um, yeah, no difference at all. Not anything to speak home about, at least. I love when player leave notes like this. That is always a good time. Love to see it. And I'm gonna calm down. I had to rush to get home and being able to spectate this game. So uh, double barracks. I love it. I hope we're gonna go for officers quite soon. Um, Seems to me this is gonna upgrade, which is gonna be annoying. But look, for whatever reason, we managed to be more efficient with clearing in Tamalicam. I don't know exactly why, but we haven't built a second unit as of yet, and we've cleared one more camp compared to Hati. It's not it's not gonna make or break the game, but it is a difference already. A small one, but a difference nonetheless. And I wonder what the difference was. Maybe or probably a few crits could have been. Highly likely. Because that is the thing with going tactician in the beginning. If you get a few lucky critical hits, you are gonna be way ahead on tempo. And we did see we went for a focus. I played a game with Frederick a few weeks back, and we both went tactician, and he got like 3 crits in the first 20 turns or so, where I got 0. So he got a lot of early tempo on me in that expansion phase of the game. It's not anything that's gonna win you the game, but it is gonna give you a little advantage. It's gonna be easier to cut like a slinger. You can delay the building of units a little bit, which is always nice. I'm always excited to see um, Tamalicam. I think it's such an interesting concept for a nation. I just find them so difficult to pilot, especially in a network game. So I have huge respect for anyone opting to go with Tamalicam. I don't think I would feel comfortable in going in that direction. The unique thing about Tamalicam is they have supremacy, and you have to keep that in order. The entire game, you have a risk of upsetting one family not in the lead currently, and that's going to lead to a lot of issues, some events with rebels if you would like to keep a bonus, and each family sort of provides their own bonus. Currently, we have the landowners in control, and they are going to give a lot of bonuses to rural specialist, which is, in my opinion, my favorite supremacy for most long part of the game. I really like rural specialists. I'm starting to build more and more of them in my games, especially with landowners. So there is a great synergy right there. However, late game they can go into the Chola, the artisan family, and get the 20% strength bonus in their territory. Such an extremely strong military family power, certainly. Hard to beat. Um, but that is very late game. Um, Managed to clear up here, have the settler coming, have another settler going, and we've yet to clear for that one. So something is off about our tempo right here. Ideally, we wouldn't have this settler already built. We would maybe build a worker instead and then waiting for a site to be cleared. And we're gonna wait a little bit right here. At least I think so, but I might be mistaken. And looks to me like we are gonna feel great about Terrasticism next turn. I am calling it's gonna spawn in Tahuntasa, which is a great name for a city. Um, I like this positioning. At least one is gonna, this is gonna hit in to us and almost kill itself. Always nice to use the tactician to hammer down the barbarians at the beginning. What is the worker count? We only got 3 workers so far. What about landmarks? Uh, that is always an interesting thing. We found 6 landmarks in Hati, whereas Tamalikam has found how many? I'm sorry, I'm going back. I am looking at landmarks, or attempting to at least. 8. We've opted to go with a Grand Vizier quite early. He's pretty good. Affable, inspiring, rising star, and he's a judge. Decent stats. It's always a bit risky to go with a Grand Vizier, but I honestly think if you have a great Grand Vizier, it can sometimes be worth it. They are not that stupid. Often, if you build some good options for them, they're gonna build the specialist, they're gonna build the units you may eventually need anyway. However, sometimes they just decide we should build slingers, we should build upgrade to a master poet instead of building an officer and stuff like that. So it can be a risky time, but often I find them to be quite decent early in the game, and you will always have the option to install a few governors and take control yourself. So not bad at all. I uh, I love having Grand Viziers in the games because they make the games more entertaining. Um, yeah, and I can go over the the Grand Vizier is a judge, affable at that, with inspiring as well. So a very nice combo with inspiring and affable, I'd say. Uh, I would take that any day of the week, and he even likes us. We also influenced him, which is a thing I highly respect. People often sleep on doing stuff like that. He is the head of our religion, so that is a very good start for Tamalikam. What are we looking at? Our not the greatest wife in Hati. We do have a righteous son, and we are tutoring him. Do we have any nice courtiers? Uh, Seems like we got a few. Both decent, so not bad. in Hati. Tamale has no courtiers. You do have a decent wife, I'd say. Schemer, you always love the extra signs in the beginning. And we are building the granary. We love to see it. This is juicy. What have we done with science? Went with trapping. Then we're probably gonna go towards military drill, which I like. But look how much we are struggling with clearing this camp. It takes us quite a while because it upgraded once. But at least we don't have a settler waiting. Going back to Tamalikam, we did settle landowners over here. And we are going down here getting ready to clear this camp. And seemingly it hasn't spawned a lot of units. It looks somewhat easy to clear, honestly. And we have Ranger. And besides that, some decent upgrades. Bloodthirsty. Yeah, this... I would honestly probably just go in here and directly gun for the barbarian in here. We're gonna kill it before it kills us, and then we can settle the city. I don't think I would attempt to clear either of these. And, you know, we are up at least by one side on the tempo front in Tamalikam, which I like, and this is also gonna do great things for our nation. Look, he's building an officer, which is absolutely amazing. And hopefully we'll get it before, yeah, we are gonna get it before a new unit spawns. I wonder if we are gonna go north afterwards, which I honestly think would be the best decision. We are standing in a prime position to do just that. Over here, it would seem we'll be going south. Could possibly get a situation where it's almost gonna be easier for Gel to continue to go over the river and go to the other side of the map. Likewise, Tabalikam might go over the river and down here to the Danes. Not certain that's the case, but it could be. It honestly could be. And hello, Aaron in chat. Yeah, quite the versatile and quite the fertile map as well. Always good stuff. If anyone would like to co-cast, feel free to join in, by the way. More than welcome. We are mourning for whatever reason. We got Gracious as our last strength. Well-rounded leader. Looking at the science, equal. They are sort of keeping up with the one science per turn at minimum. Orders, very equal. Military score, entirely equal. It is all in all so far a very equal game. Science in Tamil-Kam, I find that interesting. We do have some good options. labor force looks to be the next option. I think instead of labor force here, I'm not sure it would be the case, but there's a great argument for going for administration, uh, because this. Ooh, we see a wonder. I love it. We see the German aqueduct being built. Uh, for the people unfamiliar, the German aqueduct is, in my opinion, one of the best wonders in the game. I did a video about the wonders. It's going to provide us with 5 farmers all around the aqueduct itself, which can absolutely uh, benefit our nation greatly. It's decent science. If you build in a nation with sages, it's gonna give a lot of science. But just the food in itself, it's basically gonna solve all the food issues for the next 50 turns or so, which is absolutely amazing. Um, so always look for a great spot to build the German aqueduct when it's in the map. I think it's one of the strong wonders. And I like this, that's what I talked about before. I like how we are going directly for this guy right here. We might kill him this turn with a critical hit. Um, Great scouting by Gel. I gotta respect that. Keeping an eye on your opponent is, it's a small thing, but it really adds up over time. Having the right idea about, and lovely scouting. Look at this. 2 scouts parked exactly where you would like them. Do we see similar scouting from... I don't see any scouts currently anywhere near us. So this is the scouting. Ooh, this is unfortunate. We've scouted some good stuff. However, we are missing. Hati does know the Scythians are up here, which is hopefully we're gonna go in that direction anyways. I would like to go to our other player. Seemingly we haven't we have no idea what Hati is doing from our perspective. We're down here by the Danes, but at least we've scouted this excellent juicy site down here with double marble. So we are gonna see people moving down south. And we do see, and my Grand Vizier must be drunk, consider his choices. We are not happy with the choices, apparently. I don't see anything wrong. A worker. I mean, this slinger may be questionable, but we do have a builder so we can control it. And an officer down here. What's the issue? He's literally making the best choices in each case. I don't get this note. You have an excellent Grand Vizier. Look at all the growth he's providing in this city by himself. Oh, I went too fast. So we are 6 cities to 4 cities. We are ahead. Not by a crazy amount, but at least a bit by the tempo. Hopefully this scout is gonna go south now and realize there is a site right here, which is mirrored over here, so these guys can continue north. And it's gonna be a good thing fighting Scythians. It's easier to fight the horse people. They don't have defensive bonuses, whereas the Danes do. But I don't... Yeah, that's the main thing puzzling me in this game. I don't know why Tamlikam has been more efficient in the initial clearing. Um, both players are building up quite a lot of economy. I like that a lot. That is something some players sometimes forget. I see this slinger. That may not be what you would like. I would probably have gone with another officer. Perhaps a settler. Perhaps a worker. Um, yeah, and I get this warrior is not what you're looking for. I think this should have been probably also something like a worker or a settler. But that's the price you pay, I guess. Gel is finally gonna be done with this city. We do have another warrior, and I really hope we continue our march north. We do have a settler ready, but and this is a mistake some people make. If we are looking from Jill's perspective right now, he doesn't know about this camp. He knows there is a site down here, but opting to kill this and then go all the way down here is gonna be so many orders. Absolutely a waste of orders in my opinion, when they could go like one step north and get an even better spot. So I really hope Gel is gonna continue his march north. If he doesn't, that could be a sort of defining moment for this game. Then he would lose so much tempo if he goes all the way down here. So this scout is hopefully going in this direction soon. We are seeing elder shopkeeper almost ready. Almost ready. And 16 people in the chat. Hello to all of you. Lovely to have you. And indeed, feel better soon, Mr. Scientific. Save your throat for when you need it. Don't take that out of context. And I do apologize for everything I said. Look at these. So juicy. 8 growth in each farm. That's such a crazy value proposition. We can build a settler in 4 turns, and we've already built quite a few, I imagine, so that is nice. Ooh, that's great. With the tactician and building a city right here, we do have vision on the next city, so we know exactly what to do. And it seems like I was right about Rasticism. It did spawn in Tahuntasa, a lovely name for a city. And I rarely go for Zoroastrianism when I am playing Hati. I always end up with Judaism. Maybe we would go for both. We could, honestly. We are definitely in a position to get more rangers if we would like. We are coming to the phase of the game where expansion is going to be a bit more difficult. The camps have gotten stronger, while we have less orders to spare, seemingly, as we have more builders doing shit. The Danes are gonna be annoying soon. They're gonna raid, and we have 0 defense down here. They should start raiding in 3 turns or so. I don't think we have the same issue currently in Tamlikam. We are definitely looking to attack the Danes down here. I'm not certain. I'm not certain why we haven't continued, but I guess we're healing up beforehand and waiting for the next unit to go. And we do see the timer. We have at least 10 turns to do anything. It is a mistake people sometimes do. They go too fast. The only thing you really should look at is this timer and this timer. And if you can get to the camp and clear it before these timers are met, you can wait up and heal and upgrade your units and just make yourself as strong as possible so it's not going to be an issue. Once again, Tamlikam ahead of the clearing. And did we? I think we did a crit right here, seemingly. It's been getting a lot of those, at least I think so. Could go for slavery or freedom here. I am thinking slavery, most likely. Lots of good options right here with Hati. Those are all viable tech choices right now. I think I would like... I don't even know, honestly. Everything here is looking juicy. I don't think we have the civics for labor force next time, so maybe military drill. We could also start to build chariots, which is a great unit, probably one of the best at this stage of the game. S tier in my book. Ah, it was the scout we lost, I see. Ah, that's my bad. Um, yeah, that's a shame losing the scout. We should have moved towards the forest, and we should have known there'd be a forest down here. So a small mistake by Jill. It's definitely worth to save a scout, spend the training required to get him to safety, because the information you get over a full game of a scout is always worthwhile. We do still have a scout up here looking for what's going on, but I think if I had to guess, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of action in the middle of the map. I think the tension is gonna be top lane and bottom lane, but I don't know. And we do see one unit already being upgraded here. I think that's random. Each turn they have a chance for upgrading, but I'm not certain that's how it works. And for the question in chat, yes, this is the Dota map. It mirrors the 3 lanes known in Dota and League of Legends if you are kind of young, you know. Um, and then each have their base or their core in the corner of the map. And it's mirrored in a quite a cool way. So these two sides are mirrored right here. I like the current version of the map. It looked uh, different in the beginning. The river was bigger and there were a lot of marsh, but I feel like you ended up with a lot of dead zone in the middle, and I like this way more because it's gonna give you some conflict, and I like my conflict areas in the game. Um, but it's big enough for room to expand. Look at this, we're gonna have a core with at least five, six pretty secure cities, and then you can fight about the sevens. That feels a lot better to me. I don't like a knife fight with three cities and then you're fighting in the from the get-go. But this is looking nice. And moving into the forest, you're not gonna take a lot of damage. Uh, we should be able to take this down. And yeah, we've just been more efficient with our clearing. We are only having 2 units to move around, whereas Gel is seemingly having more issues with his clearing. We won't be able to the same extent to take the forest. We needed another unit to go in, which over time is gonna take away our tempo because those orders could have been spent on workers doing worker stuff. But it's still very even. Still having two nations with equal military score, more or less equal orders, and more or less equal science. So it is indeed very close. And now we are moving into to take this camp. I really hope we're gonna gun down this before this timer hits 0. Just go into the urban flat and start smacking this one. Just get there and get shit done, basically. Seem to have our first flood. Ruined a barrack, but not much besides that. Pretty good leader. We've gotten Wanton. I honestly like this trade. It's it's a weakness, but I wouldn't really call it a weakness in my opinion. Probably the greatest weakness in the game. Garrison. I'd honestly love to see a lot of garrison spawn spam in all the cities right now, from both players. Centralization and slavery. I would probably build a garrison in every single city right now. We are getting to the point where orders is really much a limiting factor. Why are we going back with this? Are we nervous about an event or something? If anyone has any idea why we are going back with this unit, I would love to hear your opinion. But I'm so glad we moved north and not down to the Danes. Ignore the Danes, they can trust me, I know. Better ignore the Danes. We're getting to the part of the map with or part of the game with slower turns, easier for me to keep up, at least a little bit. Got a crit. And we did bring another slinger in here, which I think is fine. So this is gonna fall soon. Do we have... Ooh. Did we have a rebel? We did have a rebel from the slum. But already we have a slinger that was this guy. He knew we would have issues, so he built a slinger ready to take care of business. He is pretty smart, and we are opting to go for pyramids as well. Lovely wonder, one of the best. It's gonna pay or give a lot of value in due time. The one thing about pyramids is that you won't really take loss while you build it, but I mean it's a long time to not pick centralization. It is if we took centralization right now, I know we don't have the civics, but if we had the civics and went for centralization right now, it would more or less add up to around 35 science we would be missing out on not taking it and waiting for the pyramids. And sometimes that just feels bad. However, it feels great when you take the laws and you have the discount going. And we've also cleared here, and we've done a pretty good job at bringing this one up. Now the question for Hati, are we gonna move back, stay, or move forward? I believe when this is gonna settle, we will see this, and this is easier for us to settle than this right now. I think it's the right choice to basically build units down here to take care of this eventually. You don't want to spend forever moving these units. Still the Grand Vizier is doing great Grand Vizier stuff. We've put we've probably done that a long time ago, but we put our resources or our steel into the city, providing some nice needed culture. You'll love to see it. And yeah, I agree, Sean. Going north would be nice. We do see the garrisons. I love the garrisons. And look, this is the value. Just getting free farmers. I wonder if we build a farmer here beforehand. I don't think so. But landowners have an easy time building just like this. So very nice. And look at this. They also give one training. We have the famous border boost. Is the border boost gonna do anything nice for us in this game? Yeah, we're gonna get some ore. We're gonna get some connection to the mountains. I say probably go for border boost, but maybe put one turn into polis or monasticism so you get this settler before you build it. So you could honestly move up here right now and then just start border boost and then get here next turn. Why did we go here and not here? We could have gone both directions, but we're gonna waste a little more time moving now. This is unfortunate. We could maybe have gotten lucky and these raiders would have gone for our opponent, but they didn't. They are coming for Gel, they are coming for Hati. What about the Danes? Have the Danes opted to raid? No. Unlike the Viking heritage you'd like to see in a Viking, they opted to do absolutely zero. The Danes often disappointed. We are moving a scout about. I wonder what we are looking for. I don't like this. This is just standing in the middle of nowhere, ready to be killed. This was a decent position. No reason to move around. And if you are moving around, then move like into the center of the kingdom to That's something I like to do sometimes. Move my scout sort of into the middle, standing in these kind of woods, and then making count on the city's specialist, kind of getting a feeling. Okay, I'd say he has around maybe 15 specialists. I know for a fact I have around 20. I'm gonna be ahead most likely. It's fine. I can just continue. Or you can tell, okay, he's going for a lot of specialists. Maybe I should do something with my army. I think there is a lot of value to be had in knowing the number of specialists in different cities. Often that's going to tell you a lot about what the opponent is planning. But again, all in all, pretty equal. The wonders are going to add some value eventually. So probably a small, in my opinion, a small lead to Tamlikam currently, but it's not as huge as the score might indicate. This is fun. They are in the sea. And I agree, Alcaraz, quite a lot of warriors being built. I think this city would have benefited greater for. I always like to get myself specialists providing growth. I think that adds up a lot. And probably I would also have loved to have military drill by now and getting those officers online as soon as possible. So I really hope that's gonna come in the next draw pile and we're gonna go for it. But because it's right about now, I love to build officers. I feel like this burst of units we're seeing from Gel right now may not be needed. I'm not saying it's bad per se, but I'm not entirely sure it's gonna be needed. But we are seeing similar story in Tamlikam. A lot of warriors, so both are gonna build a lot of warriors. Pretty pretty even map all around. One thing Alcaraz to note about Tamlikam is they have a Grand Vizier, so some of the warriors we're seeing is a choice made by the Grand Vizier. With that said, in this city, uh, I don't think I would be that scared, but in theory, we we actually don't have any information about what Hati is doing in Tamlikam, if I'm gonna be honest, which I think is a mistake, but it wouldn't be crazy to think our opponent had teched into chariots and three or two chariots could be on well on the way. So I don't think it's that bad to build a warrior. Um, I think it would be a little concerned right now as Tamalikam, as Hati is known for sometimes being quite aggressive with chariots, as they can take them very early. And for that reason, I actually like the extra safety. You know, currently you are um, up by a little bit, and look, even the military score is currently showing yourself as being weaker. So we need the extra unit. This seems like a bug. They have the same military score, and when I hover up here, it says weaker. That is... Anyone in chat knows what this is? I had the same thing happen to me yesterday in a game with Tirset and Aran, where the, the military graph was definitely favoring one player, and yet they showed us similar. I don't know. This is a bit confusing to me. Or are we just lacking an update from the last turn? Could just be we need the updated turn. Still similar. Yeah, there is... I don't know. This is weird. Don't know why it displays it like that. I'm actually very confused about that. Is there like a units? Yeah, I'm not really sure, right? Yeah, could maybe report the bug. Can I save the game right here? Or I... Okay, I'm gonna submit it later. Alcaraz, can I save the game right here? Do you know that? To maybe make it easier for Fluffy to take a look at it without disturbing the players. Hmm. Okay. That was the worst bug report ever, but what did you miss, Scientific? I'm having sort of a weird bug. Tamanicam is showing as weaker, while they have, at least they did before. Now it updated. It didn't update before. Looks like the graph maybe was even one more turn behind. Nevertheless, it looks fine now. I'm confused, and I may have confused myself and Alcaraz in the action. But what did you miss? Honestly, not too much. The expansion is just slowly continuing with a new leader. It did hang around for another turn, Scientific, so it was weird, but maybe we made a mistake. Yeah, it could have been the host's turn, perhaps. Um, Commander. Yeah, it seemed like it was off by one more turn than you would imagine, but probably nothing too major. Uh, Maybe it's because I joined the game late or something to that extent. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's get back to the game and not look at the game. We are having a lot of family issues currently in our nation. Seemingly people don't appreciate this new guy, and honestly, the last great king up here died to being severely ill. He was very good. And honestly, it's a shame to lose such a good leader, especially when the one taking over is this guy. And why did... Oh, it's German. This this event right here, Das Land der Toten. I don't sprechen der Deutsch. Ich bin sorry. So I won't really be able to tell is exactly what happened. But seemingly we got a new king, and he's a commander. We may be looking to go on the offensive whereas Hati still seem to have our initial leader going strong. And I am a bit confused sometimes about Tamil inheritance because they work in mysterious ways. I hope we are gonna move forward and clear this camp before it upgrades and starts spawning new units. I like how we brought our scout up to this part of the map actually. From this to this, it's more valuable to have vision on your opponent in this area of the map currently. And do we have the settler? I believe we are building a settler. Yeah. One thing Gel has done is built all his settler down here. And there is a lot of reason for that because this city has crazy growth. However, each time you build a settler, it's gonna add 10 growth to the next settler being built. So it's gonna get more and more expensive. 140 currently in Hattusa, whereas if you build it in here, it would probably be a bit cheaper. That's one thing. Another thing, it's gonna take a long time to walk it all the way up here. I think it would have been just as fast to build it up here, and in the meantime, this could have grown to maybe 2 or 3 more citizens. So I think there is a lesson to be had right here from Gel. Just build the settlers in the new cities, basically. Especially if it's landowners, because they have the natural 2 growth. Kind of works in the same way with the riders as they are connected, which is also gonna equivalent to 2 growth. Connected 2 growth. It's it's a small thing, but it does give you quite a lot of benefits in the early game, having riders as they are connected. Yeah, I sort of wonder. It is Ishtar Gate, which I think is a very strong wonder. Um, one of the better ones. I uh, I like it on this map. Although most of our cities have already gotten quite close to developed, and I don't really know how much growth we need in the city. I actually don't know if it's worth going for Ishtar Gate right here. It is going to provide us with some culture in our border cities, which is nice, but yeah. And apologies to Tamilkam, I haven't been keeping up. He's quite content in just standing around, and I mean, there are no real benefit of moving forward currently, as we are still just. Ooh, the family opinion is a bit annoying. We did have a rebel spawn up here, which is always annoying. I'm gonna stay on Tamilkam for a bit, just looking at what's going on in their nation. We're gonna have pyramids soon. We are sort of building up an army up here, which I like. And I really like the roads we are building already. However, we've yet to connect to the capital or oh, never mind. We've connected. We have the river going all the way down here. You can tell all the way down here and connected by a road over here. And then we're going to continue the road down south and down south. So yeah. One thing though about this road, it's not gonna help with bringing military all the way from our landowner seat to the front lines. We may not be looking for that, but it is a thing to note. We could maybe also have brought another worker to speed up the building of these farms, as they immediately are gonna get a free farmer, which is a lot of value. We are pretty much just standing around, and honestly, it's probably fine. However, I would like to get this down before it upgrades. It's gonna be so much easier to deal with it right now, but we need the settler, and again, the settler is pretty far away. It's just on the road now. At least we are hearty, moving faster through the hills is always nice. And what note? I forgot to switch back to border boost. Such a shame. Oh, it seems like we had a border boost going in Tamalicam. I hate to do that. I wish you could sort of enforce a stop before you take a technology when you have border boost going, but I guess not. I guess not. The Danes are raiding. You love to see it. I wish they were even better at raiding. I would love the Danes to get a bit more flavor. Their unique tribal benefit. Uh, Tribes, the Danes, their bonus is if we can tell it right here, cold, which is making them stronger in tundra. I think that's such a weak tribal, basically a non-factor. I would like them to have a different unique rating bonus, perhaps, or amphibious. Uh, this one, attacking across river. I would love if the Danes had this. Kind of flavorful, but I like that the tribes have a bit of identity. I think that's very cool. I just dislike the Danes having such a lackluster. Ooh, they do have the cleave, that is right. Are they the only one with cleave scientific? I might be mistaken then. Because I always just look at the cold. Mm, but I guess you are the guy to know stuff like that. Yeah, this is Pierce, you're right. That's definitely not the same thing. Barbarians, they have nothing going for them. Yeah, forget what I said. I see. I always looked at the cold bonus and just basically assumed that was it. Only the Danes have cleave. Well, the more I learn. Thank you guys for teaching me about the Danes. I love that. I think I just looked at the ice bonus and sort of. I'm glad you made the same mistake, scientific. Um, I'm not the only one making that mistake. Glad I am having experts. And you learned, lovely. Great, the story repeats itself. Um, you learned it here first, folk. The Danes, they have amazing cleave at 6 strength, so go get the Danes. Um, and we're holding our bonuses or our civics until pyramids is gonna be finished next turn. A lot of orders is I think people are not really assessing how influential a rebel can be. It may not be that difficult to deal with, but it's gonna drain at least 5 or 6 orders most of the time because you're gonna move a unit And it may not seem like a lot, but if you look at your pool down here, you have around 6 orders to spend because a lot of it is going to be upgrading. So I feel it is a lot of tempo being a hard stock in my opinion. Did we go for... Yeah, we got dualism online. So got Zoroastrianism to 4 of our cities, which is pretty decent already. Good use case for our civics already. Uh, I like the dualism. I really think it's one of the best choices. And mythology, though, I don't know about that. I I like the other options more, to be frank. Especially legalism, I think is the best. But I'm really glad what we've done in Hati, having opted to stay up here with the army up here and opted to build units down here in order to deal with the Danes eventually. Although it is going to be difficult to deal with the Danes. It's not going to be such an easy. And we're doomed. Severely ill doomed, intolerant. Yeah, it's about time he goes. And we had another rebel spawn. That is annoying, having to deal with this. Do we have any easy ways to do something about this? I mean, one thing we could have done earlier, most likely. Seemingly we've done it actually, but we don't have anyone following Hinduism in this city. And I don't know when we built the shrine. Seemingly this worker built it recently, so I believe we didn't build it as soon as possible. I really like get my shrines online as early as possible, in one in each family at least, in order to get everybody to follow my pagan religion. Is the resource density set to high? I believe so. Uh, where is resource density? I might just be blind. Oh, it's only medium actually. Resource density, medium. But I agree, it looks pretty juicy overall. I can turn on this so you can tell exactly how many resources we actually have on the map. I don't know why our scout is standing right here. This seems like a weird place for this scout to be. Why not be in the front and watching what is our opponent doing? It's a small thing, but maybe suddenly a chariot or two could come running. Uh, we are definitely in the turn territory where that could be an issue. Uh, we seem to be building this settler up here now, and then I think this settler is gonna go in this direction to settle here. This worker should have been a settler. This is a mistake. Clearing this side and then standing around for a long time. I mean, it's still better to clear it and have it cleared. And I don't think Tamlikam is gonna have a response for this. But we should almost certainly have been prioritized our build queue differently and build the settler and then the worker, not the other way around. But I mean, it's probably not gonna be a big deal. One thing I'd say about both players, they've been rather late, in my opinion, in getting their uh, 5th strength units online. Um, Both opted for quite a lot of slingers and quite a lot of warriors. It's fine if you're going for officers, and especially Tamarikam has at least built some officers, but I'd argue By now, I would much rather be building spearmen or axemen than warriors. It's gonna have a lot of value for a long time. I don't see Tamil confident in moving forward currently. Certainly a lot of orders. Maybe take a look at the stats. Military score quite even all the way through. And I know what happened. At least some of it. We got pyramids online finally, which gave us one order along with enabling us to go for serfdom. And we also got centralization. But seemingly we also, perhaps we finished an ambition or something to that extent. At least we suddenly got seemingly the garrisons actually got finished this turn. Yeah, look at this. That is a difference. Sizable difference in orders. Last turn we were equal, now we are up by 10 orders. That is a swing. I think Alcaraz in a lot of these or in a lot of these matches, the maps are quite small. So I like to have my 5th strength units online, or at least some variation of it, quite early, at least before turn 40. I'm With that said, I haven't played a lot of matches, so I may not be an expert, but I feel like it's not a wasted build cube, but I much prefer to build a spearman. It's gonna have a staying power for a lot longer, and axemen are not bad either. I really like spearmen though. I think spearmen can stay on the map for basically forever, especially when you are playing a nation with a unique unit. So. And I agree, it feels like Tamikam is ahead, but not by a lot. I think one thing to look for is the leader, and we just had our new leader recently joined. He's a judge, righteous, pious, uh, which is obviously gonna be great for the build-up phase, and we are at that stage of the game. Uh, Interesting approach right here, but honestly, a good approach. We want to kill this before it turns into an encampment. A mistake people often make is standing around and killing the respawns for a very long time and then it's upgrading. So big props to Harty for going in like this. Would be even better if this settler was right here, right now. And we should most likely have had garrisons in all our cities by now, or at least close to. Did they just turn to raiders that's gonna go for... They're gonna go for us, so no change there. But yeah, we are gonna need to do something about these orders soon. Do we have... Uh, we obviously only have labor force on the way right now, so we need to do something about it. What does our tech tree look like currently? Do we have military drill? I mean, we got all the techs down here going. Rhetoric, interesting. I feel like we should... Yeah, we should by now hopefully do something about orders. So navigation is gonna be a priority in my game. And we are gonna have phalanx too, so we are gonna have spearmen soon. Yeah, I like the position more and more from our Tamil camp player. It's still pretty even game, but they are slowly inching ahead. I wonder what the improvements control. Yeah, I mean, it's not a decisive advantage, but this is something. 18 to 7. We just have a few more specialists all around. Back to Hati. Yeah, I hate to see this. 4 citizens and not a single specialist. I'm not sure what could have been done, but it feels wrong. But we are gonna take this. We've cleared for this. In 5 turns, we will have this city. We'll have this city. And the settler's coming. So in a few turns, we're gonna be up by 1 city. And the timing here is pretty decent if we can manage to pull it off. 6 turns on each target, 5 turns on the settler. So we could get the settler and get it to develop immediately, which would be a very good call. But Hati or Gel right now, I'd say we are gonna need something besides warriors, and we're gonna need some specialists. And yeah, a lot of build queues have been filled with slingers, in my opinion. And we are floating, not a lot of resources, but some resources. We probably didn't need as many resources improvements. For instance, this guy is looking eager to build a marble. I would have opted to build a garrison and probably barracks up here right now. We have plenty of gold for keeping our economy afloat for quite a while, and we are in the dire need of specialists. At least we will be soon enough. Currently, it's looking fine, but it is this stage where more warriors is not really gonna win you the game because you are almost certainly gonna be fighting something stronger than a warrior, and you need 8 warriors to deal with maybe 2 axemen comfortable. And all these warriors is just gonna stand around and not really accomplish anything, I think, because maybe they could give us securities and make sure we're not gonna die, but I don't really think that's the right approach for this game state. We need science. We're falling off science wise, and we're falling off with our order economy. That's the main priority right now. I'd go navigation here, not polish. I would definitely have opted for navigation or phalanx with spearmen. We need orders. We need a better unit. I don't know what policy is going to accomplish. I mean, forestry is nice, but we can buy wood for days. Tamil has just comparing to Tamil's economy right now. You can tell they seemingly they have a worse economy, but in truth they have the better order economy, they have the better training economy, they have the better science. They've had worse leaders for some time, but that's gonna they made up for it with more specialists. And it's not at all difficult to turn this economy into a surplus, going into building more farms, building more stone and whatever. And we do actually have an excellent stone income. Um, and we did get spear in Tamalikam. If we need, we can upgrade quite a lot of our warriors. One thing I'd say about Tamalikam, he's playing very much in the dark. I don't think he's got a lot of ideas about what his opponent is doing, which honestly is risky. Uh, has a note here, Scout Man, with a lot of angry looking expression marks. And I agree, but by now it wouldn't be out of the question to have an opponent rushing in with like 5 or 6 chariots. And at least we have the spearmen. So, but we are also building the Great Stupa. A wonder I am taking a greater and greater liking to, but I agree with the build order here. I say go for pyramids and German aqueduct before you're going with the Great Stupa. Um, and there is some synergies between having pyramids and Great Stupa. You can sort of alleviate some of the civics you're going to use on the Great Stupa with the discount you get from pyramids. So that is pretty neat overall. We're sort of building up a force up here. I like this. We've clearly positioned our scout. We do see exactly what our opponent is having. And this Hati scout is not looking at what's coming. If we wanted upgrade, upgrade, maybe rush, if we could. We don't have the civics for it, never mind. But upgrade, upgrade, bring this guy on, and we would be looking for a pretty favorable engagement. And one very important detail about an engagement right here, it's probably gonna be easier for us to put in the reinforcement into the battle right here, as we are having built, we've already built the road network, and Hati hasn't built a road network. So that is, and we got no idea in Hati. This could turn out badly somewhat soon. We got the city down here, which is nice. Would love to see it. Rider seat, or Rider city, rather. But at what cost? We have so few orders to spend. Our empire is too big for our order economy currently. We are gonna have workers standing around not doing a lot and having issues moving our units and our uh, economic units at the same time. So how many? Camel is nice. Garrison is nice. Just wondering how much we could. We are building the garrison. We did build the garrison. Did build the garrison. Still lacking one garrison here, but we did build the elephant and lacking one garrison. So I mean, it's not like we could totally change this position, but maybe a little bit. And I really don't get the polish pick right now. Okay, we got admin here. All these techs are pretty decent. If I think we're gonna have war within the next 20 turns or so, composite bow, or with if I think that a decisive battle is gonna take place within 15 turns or so, I think composite bow is probably better. If I'm looking for the long game and the economy game, and I think that is the case right here, I think I would opt for monasticism before citizenship. I like to get my pagan religion spread in all my cities. I think that's an easy approach. Going with citizenship. Sometimes there is great value to get to citizenship and you can go for legal code for a little while and get some civics from that. But I like to yeah, get going on shrines in all the cities. So I would most likely have taken monasticism here, maybe composite bow. A really nice thing about getting composite bow quite early is that you can build ranges all around. So when you have built your barracks in all your cities and you've built your officers in all your cities, then you know what to do with the rest. And it's also going to give a little bit of orders with hello Meroden, welcome to the stream. We are witnessing Tamale commanded by heitlinger96 versus Hati commanded by Gel. And it's been a pretty even game so far. We've gotten a few turns ago, we did see a decisive advantage going in Tamalikam's favor. They took an order lead, which is currently helping them a bit. And by different metrics, it seems like Tamalikam is ahead, but not by a lot. And it's not at all decided currently. Maybe I should also show you the military graph, which is very close. But everything is warriors and slingers. We are first now seeing the first spearmen being built, which has taken a little while. I wonder if we have the orders to hold court. Hopefully we do it sometimes. It would seem like it. I like the barrack. I would, however, heal this worker up. It's almost always gonna be worthwhile to heal up a worker that is wounded. Each in increments of 5, it's gonna add another turn to the build queue. So if the build queue is gonna take let's say 5 turns and you are losing 1 HP point on your worker, so you are at 19, it's gonna add 1 turn, then going down to 14 is gonna add another 9, another, and then 4 another. So it's almost always worthwhile to heal up before you start improving a resource. It's not gonna make a big difference on the resource you are actually, or the build you are having. However, every build afterwards is gonna be less efficient, sort of. Tamanikam, after every influence mission, people hate me more. Yeah, I sometimes get that. That's honestly annoying when you are trying to alleviate an issue and you're just making it worse. That's annoying. You feel punished for actually putting in the work. That's not a great feeling. Um, this position is suddenly not looking that good anymore. Those 2-turn settlers. I'm not that satisfied with my position right here, Jill. I If only we had gotten ahead and built our settler 4 turns ago, so this would be here right now. It would at least be a little easier. How much can we see? We don't see anything. Why does this scout see absolutely nothing? Is these scrubs simply just hindering all the vision? This seems like a weird vision. I think it might be an observer visual bug. In my book, you should be able to see more with a scout in here. And seemingly you are also seeing this for whatever reason. Yeah, probably a bug of some sort. Is it the border providing some sort of bug? I don't know. What is my favorite map script to practice 1 versus 1? For all the flavorful things the new map scripts bring, I must admit I like coastal rain basin and the inland sea the most. I feel like those are well balanced. In general, I'll say I much prefer mirrored map settings to point symmetry because I feel like point symmetry is somewhat unreliable in generating a great map. Sometimes you get some very fun and interesting maps, but sometimes you can have like a barren land with 20 tiles in the middle with no cities at all because there were kind of supposed to be a city in the middle, but then it's sort of got messed up in the script creation. So you can have a big area in the middle with nothing going on. A great example of that would be the game with Purple Bull Moose and Magnus, uh, with not a lot of action, or it's very difficult to actually get any action going as you are not really in a position to do anything. Um, and I dislike that a lot. I would love the point symmetry a lot more if it was a lot more reliable about building maps with cities in the middle, even though it was point symmetry. I like those middle cities, they spawn conflict. Right here, you sort of have like this is sort of what I was talking about. If the whole map was like this with this distance between cities, you wouldn't see a lot of action at all. But this is a lot better. So when this happens in point symmetry, it's great. I really like this. This is fun. This is not fun. This one does not spark joy. Um, Are we gonna go for any aggressive moves? Are we gonna move in? Are we gonna do anything right here for Tamilakam? I honestly think we have an opportunity. We have the spearmen, we have the warriors, we have the slingers. We can take this city, but we're not making our move this turn, seemingly, and next turn there's gonna be a settler right here. What is your favorite map script then, Sion? Of the new maps, I really like the lush desert played on a bigger map with a lot of sites where you kind of spawn close to one another, but you have ample opportunity to expand in that direction. I think that might be my favorite map script, honestly. I think the Cliff versus Alerica map, a match, probably one of the most entertaining in its own way matches of this tournament. That, at least in my opinion, provided an excellent example why that map type is so entertaining, because you had the constant uh, tense-ish struggle with two strong tribes in the north and the players being in the south. You didn't want to upset the tribes. Um, Glad we got some reinforcement in here for Hati. We did have to sacrifice some workers standing around doing nothing. Well worthwhile, and we are building heavy chariots. Those are gonna come out and do great things, hopefully. So we could sort of take the engagement, but we are playing versus goddamn spearmen, and heavy chariots are pretty hard countered by spearmen. So it's not it's not ideal. It would be lovely to have some axemen right here. Um, could we go for steel next time, maybe? We could go for steel right now. I would, if I saw this, and it seems like the vision has fixed itself now for whatever reason. If I saw this, I would, in my opinion, maybe not go for heavy chariots. I don't think they're gonna do what you would like them to do. I think I would go and take steel instead immediately. We're gonna go for steel, upgrade our initial units, and have a much better time. This is not gonna provide any value long term, and we're not gonna do anything short term with two heavy chariots. Or at least I don't think so. I might be mistaken. But I think I would, in this position, forget about my unique unit and opt for steel. But I might be mistaken. Not sure why we ran down the timer for a little while there, but a lot to do. And next turn we're gonna have Ishtargate. Also good stuff. Alright. We're building a road. Clearly we are preparing an invasion eventually around here, I'd say. Do we have a settler? We do not have a settler. No settler. We do see what we're facing. We could, with what we are seeing, we could definitely take an engagement here. Spearmen are gonna shred through whatever he's having, and we are having upset families. Both players are having some issues with the families. It's crazy to me. We've at least had this for 20 turns or so. The shrine and the artisan seat, and not a single family member has opted to adopt it. That is annoying. Uh, I think Heitlinger has done what he was supposed to do in order to uh, alleviate this issue right here, but seemingly it hasn't worked. He's been pretty good about influence missions. Gotta give credit for that. Um, Warlike, very strong. Look at the training in a city like this. 21 training. And that right here, that is a great bonus about the supremacy. The added training you get is then multiplied by the barracks. Uh, you see the officer right here is giving the bonus up here, and then you get the 20% afterwards. Do we feel confident in going here as Tamalicam? I don't know, but I think we should and could. I'll not lie. I think maybe one of the reasons I like it is because it's great with Rome, the coastal rain basin. Any great? I like this event a lot. Set a camp. Always lovely. I'd probably go for the family opinion. You'd love to have some greater family opinion, and in the next 40 turns you're gonna have conflict. So I like this. Stuff like this is a lot more valuable than people seem to think. What is our legitimacy looking like? we since our leader died, apparently we've had some issues keeping up. The architect down here, he's not really proving his worth, at least not yet. But it could come soon enough. But not an impressive amount of legitimacy, but not an awful either. So if only we had steel. Look how easy this map would feel. And look at our resources. And that's kind of what I was talking about half an hour ago. We have plenty of resources, but we are lacking urban improvements. Barracks is coming now. The barracks is not present. I like, however, we've been prioritizing getting these resources like ore and uh, elephants, camels, stuff that is going to provide us orders, which is something we most desperately need. So I appreciate that fact. But you don't want to be in a position kind of like this where you feel like, oh, I need to build a warrior in order to survive. So I'm gonna build the warrior or the slinger. By turn close to 50, you would like better options, and a better option, in my opinion, would be to build the officers, even though we are probably soon gonna need, at least when looking at this, we might need the warriors soon, but if we continue to just build the warriors, we are gonna fall behind eventually. So at some point we need to weave in those. Yeah, and we're gonna go for a slinger. At some point we should have weaved in a officer, maybe a trapper or something. We are just slowly but certainly falling behind. One option could be to get our leader in here later and then just buy the specialist. That is sometimes an option. Uh, the only leader or the only judge we have is our leader, but we could in theory do that eventually. However, it is a bit expensive to do it constantly. And back to Tamlikam. Are we gonna see action? What do you guys think? Are we gonna witness anything? I really don't know Heitlinger um, as a player. If he is the sort of guy to go on the aggressive, I believe he should do it right here. But to give Jill some props, he's standing, at least in my opinion, in the right place. Maybe even move further back, actually. Right here, you could, in theory, be alpha striked if your opponent spends some training action. You could maybe move back one more tile. Um, but standing behind the city is the right call right here. The Danes still going strong down here in the south. And at least it's gotta feel pretty good for Hati to have taken the lead in city count. I think people overestimate the value of cities. I know I did for quite a while. I remember when I was less experienced than I am now, I was over focused on getting cities, and I kind of had the mindset that if I got to the middle before my opponent, I would win the match because there was basically infinite value in having another city. And while I still think it's obviously a better position to be in to have more cities than your opponent, I've had games with far fewer cities and still coming out ahead in both science and military. I especially remember one FFA. I had 3 cities as Egypt, and the rest of the map just ignored me, so I silently went to jurisprudence, got myself guilds, got elder officers in all my cities quite quickly, and went to barding. So I had 2 cities pumping cataphracts and 1 pumping longbowmen, and in a matter of not that long, I suddenly was the strongest player on the map, which was entertaining. It was a game with Nick Knight, Ninja, and Michael, if I believe. It was a fun one. To be fair, they didn't have that many cities either, as it was a sparse with the city placement. We tried an interesting setting, I'd say. We are gonna have the heavy chariots, especially as going heavy chariots right now. It's gonna hopefully provide us some needed defense and tempo. That would be the time to build officers or something better. Especially down here, we should build officers. Also, Hati have an easier time building officers, as we are in fact better at specialist with the 2 extra civics we get from our nation bonus. So clearly worth, in my opinion. I like this trader worker, quite sleek, going up here, build a road directly into your opponent. We are gonna see some kind of aggression, and I'm not sure we can defend it. Uh, Maybe just already forfeit this city. I know it sucks, but I think we stand to lose more than to win if we insist on fighting this city. So I think, honestly, the play would be to fall back. Okay, we did get our lovely chariots. They are... Okay, we can't see how much they do, but they are not really countering these spearmen up here. Um, Navigation, yeah, we need the orders, and we need them yesterday. Our empire is too large. Hey, Mr. Purple Bull Moose, welcome to the stream. We are having a game between Hati, commanded by Gel, and we are on the Dota map script. He's up against his opponent, heitlinger96, commanded, and he's commanding Tamalikam. Overall, it's been a pretty even game. Seemingly, Tamalikam has been ahead by a little bit, for a significant duration, but not by a lot. But during the last 15 turns or so, he's slowly getting further and further ahead. His military is rising, his science is rising, and especially orders, he is ahead. He does also have better wonders with the pyramids and German aqueduct. But the central thing is my opinion, he decided to put most of his economy into urban, or at least more of his economy into specialist and urban improvements, and he opted to go for a 5 strength unit. And now he's got an army of spearmen, most likely gonna face up against an army of warriors, which is gonna be very difficult to navigate for Hati. Hati is having a severe lack of specialists, in my opinion, in his empire, or not a severe lack. It's not that bad, but it could be better, in my opinion. We lack barracks and a 5th strength unit by now. Our science is a bit all over the place. We've basically taken everything in this department and nothing in the next tier right here. And as I've said before, we should, in my opinion, have a fifth strength unit, at least one by now, and amass that. So that is the brief summary for you, Mr. Purple Bull Moose. The spread between we have a lot of rural specialists, which is not that surprising, but they are quite juicy and they provide training with the Shera, Chera, I don't know how to pronounce that, supremacy. But in most of the cities, we do actually have some urban specialists. We have at least one officer in each city, I think. So it's overall better in my opinion. Can we tilt the breakdown? So 3 officers in Tamarikam, where we have 0 in Gel. And for urban improvements, we have the shrines, we have mainly farms and quarries, but 9 barracks, whereas Gel is only having 1 barrack. So that is the difference. One thing going in Hati's favor, we did go across the river and took this city, and we had a pretty decent timing with Ishtar Gate, so all our city turned developed. We are rushing with civics because we are scared up here, and we are scared for a good reason, but slingers in this area with an army like this, it's gonna be rough. I like the energy. I gotta give credit for that, but it is looking dire, and we have a great economy, or at least, especially money. We have enough to float for a bit. But yeah, I am gonna leave the camera right here, and I will be right back in 2 minutes or so. So be right back. Alright, I am back. Tell me what I missed. Seemingly not much. Maybe join right back in action. We are going for an order boost. That looks to me like going for a move. Hopefully. We have a sandstorm to slow us down, but honestly, it's not gonna do anything. If we could get to strong in 10 turns and get our unique unit, or just get uh, build a stronghold. As we are doing, we are building a stronghold. Never mind, I'm dumb. Yeah, this is gonna be very difficult to stop. In 10 turns time, we're gonna see elephants invading, and we only got warriors to defend ourselves. This is a rough position for Hati, and I don't think they know it yet. I really don't think they realize it. Question in chat. I haven't seen a lot of Egypt play in the tourney. Is it viable? I think we've had some Egypt, but I might be mistaken. I can look it up because right now I'm curious as well. But seemingly, uh, looking at nations, we've had Egypt being played 5 times and they won 3 times. So they are being played, but I do see why they may not be picked as often as other nations. I think they depend a bit more on the map than other nations because they rely on certain wonders being available early to really leverage their power and possibly also some mountains and stones. And we have quite a lot of wet maps in the pool, in my opinion. So I think that explains why. Oh, I completely spaced out last turn talking about Egypt. We've clearly seen a move, and we're not like overly aggressive. We are just going in and saying, "Hey, look at this. What are you gonna do about it, Mr. Hati?" And I don't think Hati has a response for this. Looking at warriors going in here, 5 damage, 5 damage. I mean, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Please surround it. We are remembering to surround it, but seemingly, as engagement goes, this wasn't bad. Uh, I still think we are gonna regret not just falling back, but we shall see. We've I don't know if we forced march. I don't believe so. Our units right here, but uh, I love. I really think heavy chariot is among the best of the strength or fifth strength units. Sixth strength units, sorry. But playing versus spearmen alone, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna feel bad. It's not gonna be a pleasant engagement, but I mean, it's a good start killing one unit before the opponent gets a turn. What does the order economy look like? I mean, it's not even, but it could be worse. Let's look at what our opponent bring. Adopt paganism, maybe. Ah, this is so annoying. Our family has opted to go for our enemy's religion, and We did build a shrine in here a long time ago, and then this randomly spread to our city, I suppose. And right now we are having family issues for it. Very annoying. But Hati is in a very rough position right here. I don't know why we are using slingers on this unit right here. Maybe we counted it out. Seemingly we did. Please get the commander bonus. Please get someone standing right here or over here so we get the extra 100%. This guy, yeah, good job. We got a crit. Nice. Good value. And I believe we might be able to get more. Do we have one more? Seemingly not. One thing we did here, which may be something we're gonna regret, all these slingers are standing in a way where these chariots could perhaps do some damage, but it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult to do enough. Yeah, I agree, Frederick. The commander is pretty decent in this part of the game for these engagements, especially when we are fighting spearmen versus warriors. Again, it's been my main critique of both players, but especially Hati. He's fighting turn 50 with nothing but warriors, and that's not gonna cut it. And he's gonna at least lose a city for it. But I'm glad he's counting his losses. He's falling back. He killed one spearman, and now he's seemingly falling back. I think that's the right call. So good job on your part, Jill. I like that. I like that. Did we take a crazy ambition? Apparently not. So fall back, and defend from this city. It's gonna be a lot more smooth in the wars to come. One thing you maybe could consider is buying these tiles so your opponent won't have an easy route through here. It is not easy. I don't even know if we have anything that could buy them right now. I don't think we have a lore. No, we do not have exploration, and we do not have a scout in the area. But if you bought these two right here, you would kind of stop the invasion from going over here. With that said, it's just going to be two chops and they can kind of go around, so maybe not that big of a difference. Back to Tamalikam. I believe they're just gonna take the city. Did we forget about this guy, or did we not have the orders? We had some training, so I think we forgot about this. It would almost certainly have been worth to take one extra order and move him back at least to this. But he may still live. It looks like we're going to go for the city. And it's going to fall somewhat quickly. Are we gonna punish this? Or just go for the... it's gonna die. Yeah. That's what you get. It's gonna cost at least some orders, so... And it's gonna prolong this city maybe for a turn or so. And double training. It actually drained quite a lot of training for his opponent, at least, so... He got more value out of that than he you probably realized. But the main issue is strongholds. Strongholds are coming, and these cities are primed and ready for just building a lot of units. And I very much agree with this assessment. This bonus right here is by far my favorite thing about the Tamilcam. Although I'm not playing Tamilcam often, that is providing a lot of benefits. It is looking rough for Hati. Orders, quite a big difference. Military score. It may look equal, but it's not by a long shot. And what about science? I mean, we are pretty much even. Not really any significant difference in either direction. So, monasticism, I respect it. I think that's a good choice. Got navigation. Please opt for steel. And again, it's kind of, yeah, steel is the right call here, but he's gonna need to immediately after steel opt out of steel or opt to go for spearmen of his own because the elephants are coming. So it's an elegant balance he's gotta do right here. And why this is really an issue is that all our build queues are currently entirely focused on building units. And while I get the idea, units built down here is not really gonna do anything because look, it's gonna take forever to get up there and we don't have the orders. I don't really know what to build in a situation like this. It doesn't feel good to build a warrior, I know that much. So I would maybe just straight up build a treasury or maybe a trapper to get an extra order or yeah, warrior turn 55 is the wrong call. Yeah, scientific. I mean, they are in fact better than a Roman Empire. The Roman Empire has like 2 extra training in each city, and at least with the way Tamilcam has been set up in this game, in this city we got 1, 2 training. Over here we got 4 training. Down here we got 4 training. Over here we got 2 training. 1 training. 1 training. And in the capital it's 8 training. So on average it's around 3 or something. And that's better than Rome. So this is in a lot of ways like playing versus Rome. It's probably even better because the best city is also having barracks. So look at this training. It is pretty strong. I really also think that this bonus is. I would honestly play Tamilcam more if they just had that bonus and not all the shenanigans about supremacy. I love the idea about supremacies. I just can't really always manage it, but it doesn't seem like an issue at all with heitlinger this game. But yeah, in most of my Tamilcam games, I end up just having this all game long. I just like it. So much training. The late game scaling with Tamilcam is insane. probably among the best in the game. Yeah, I think I agree, Bull Moose, as well with that point. It's just a lot more accessible, which probably also applies to Yushi. And I think if we were to do our ranking video again about units, I mean, making that video really made me think about the units, but the video was made. But I think I would change a few things around. Um, we put down some notes right here, but I'm sorry, Heitlinger, when you were watching this back. Oh, we did lose. Did we abdicate? Uh, I think we abdicated into this judge. Why? I am a bit confused about this. Uh, this guy is still alive, and say he's pretty goddamn good for what we're doing right now. And seemingly we abdicated to his sister. Was that an event? Um, she hates me so much. Maybe I abdicate. This is bad. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened. Um, if anyone can decipher this German and the I think new capital took the throne basically. Uh, but my German ain't perfect. As mother like son, I think this translates to. Could 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 maybe save Hati. Um, we lost some legitimacy, I would assume. Yeah, we were doing very good on legitimacy and just straight up lost a lot right here. Uh, yeah, and she's slothful. Going from warlike to slothful is weird. Um, it seemed like it was an abdication, but maybe it was an event that was kind of forced upon him. Either way, I would have paid a pretty steep price to keep my commander just before. But maybe we are content with just taking this city and not moving forward. That could be it. But yeah, I am confused. If anyone has a good idea about what transpired, let me know. Still, the game is very much even Steven, and all these queues with warriors turn 55 makes me a bit sad. I must admit that. It even rhymes. Trying to look for the events. I'd wish there was an easier way to look at events and go back in time and look at what events happened earlier. Sometimes it can be very difficult to know what happened, especially if you don't know the names of all the events. And believe it or not, I don't. I'm still consider myself somewhat of a newcomer to the scene. I haven't even played this game a year. However, I played it quite a lot in the last year, so there is that. It's very difficult to assess my actual playtime because I've had the game running in the back while working from home some days. So the number just went up and up and up while not really doing. I can recheck legitimacy if you would like. Uh, oh, these are our current evaluation. I don't really see the application event with a negative penalty here. So, oh, never mind. I missed it the first time. There is the negative 10. Yeah, my bad. Uh, so he did apparently out of his own volition up to abdicate the throne. Hmm. I, yeah, and I appreciate that tip, Scientific. I like this road down to the Danes. Building the road before going down there, that is quite cute, honestly. And we've also built the settler, so I think we're gonna settle this pretty soon. Although we do see the mighty Huskarl with cleave, and not just the cold, as I seemingly learned earlier. Yeah, Alcraz, you are absolutely right. I I sort of didn't really think about how great it was with Tamalicam, but it makes a lot of sense. I don't think I've played a game with Tamalicam where I had German Aqueduct, and I haven't played a lot of the new nations. The training currently is 20. I have to, yeah, it was what, 24 before he abdicated or something, maybe even better. And that was with one less barrack. So, yeah. Finally, we are gonna see the granary being built here. Love to see it. But Harty is at least gonna have the counter, and he's gonna have the training, and he's also gonna have the steel to upgrade a lot of these warriors. So he's not really in a position where I would say he's gonna risk losing a city. And he is building up the road network. I gotta give props to that. I like that a lot. Maybe you should have done it earlier, but it's a lot better now than never. I like this, building the hamlets forward and opting to get some of these resources and possibly also mid control. Having an easy avenue down the middle could maybe prove valuable later on. So that is also quite nice. That sounds fun. Scientific with one training per farm as the first incarnation of the Tamadikam ability. How how did that interact with like a resource like where you build a farm on top of it? Would that be even more training then, or Anyways, I like all the new nations from Indus. Really appreciate the flavor they bring, and I also really appreciate they are not overpowered by any means. I'd actually prefer them not to be overpowered and forcing it upon people basically and changing the meta too much. So big props to the developers for the last expansion. Uh, this goddamn family has just been nothing but issues. She's stuff like this is just gonna be annoying. We could maybe take this guy and he is pleased. He's ill though. Maybe try and convert some of these guys into Hinduism. Could honestly be pretty nice. But so much wasted potential in the artisan seed. And initially, we have this note. No, we earlier had a note here stating that he wanted to build the artisan seat here, but he misclicked. So he ended up building traders here, which I think is fine, honestly. I don't think, but it's just fun how this has been giving issues the entire game. And I'm a guy prone to misclick as well. I am certain at least one of my network games in this tournament is gonna be um, I'm gonna feel a big mistake eventually coming my way when I misclick a family or something to that extent. I could see myself do it. I do it all the time in games with reroll. Uh, I wonder if the next conflict is gonna be down here by the Danes when we are clearly gonna go ahead, or if we are gonna attempt to move in. But I think losing our strong leader while losing some orders and tempo maybe made us back off a bit. Uh, the purple bull moose asking if that was the family that caused him to abdicate. I don't think so, as currently the sister that is sitting on the throne is also from the landowner's family, and I believe we had, yeah, everything is landowners in regarding ruling, so that's not the issue. I am just a bit confused. Look, we had the resources we could upgrade. I hope we are gonna go for phalanx here, but I honestly wouldn't argue against going for sovereignty right here. And it's probably the better choice in most cases. The only thing that's gonna feel bad about it is that we have javelin elephants being built right now. But again, it's gonna be a little while before they get to the front, so perhaps opting sovereignty and probably going, sorry, wrong button. Probably going for constitution. No, we're probably going tyranny. Both of these are great options. Would be worthwhile for Tamil, for Hati. I don't think Hati needs forts, at least not with this. When you have this many axes fighting against the, and we have excellent opinion, so we are gonna do just fine. We may even consider counterattack, honestly. it could maybe be worthwhile, if I'm being honest. The orders, again, once more, very close. Science, we are still just cruising ahead by a little bit. And some of that is due to us having a pretty decent leader. Righteous, right here. I think people often sleep on Righteous. I honestly think it's pretty strong. Over a long time, it's gonna add a lot of value. Depending on how bold you are, you could honestly go for an attack right here. We don't see a lot of ranger damage, and it's gonna be in the forest, so getting in here and smacking these guys, I think it might be worth it, honestly. I think it might be worth it. What's your favorite trade, guys, in chat? Which one do you value the highest? I think Hati could, if he had access, he wouldn't have lost the city. So if his tech had been different somehow, maybe he could have kept the city. But yeah, it's not too bad. He didn't invest a lot in it, and he lost. It's probably gonna be fine. Done. Now only convert Shera, and we are fine. Again, I'm not entirely certain what he's referring to with these notes. But clearly we had the family head for landowners probably be this lovely lady, and she hated our guts, so we opted out of it. Which maybe we didn't have a better option, but hmm. I think last turn, honestly, moving in with our axemen would have been a pretty good. Standing in here and fighting axemen standing right here. The slingers wouldn't be able to do a lot, and we would kill one, maybe even two spearmen, and they would do 4 damage back to us. I honestly think we could have grabbed some value right there. I don't know if we did the math, but we're still fighting rebels over here. I mean, that is one issue with having better units. You're gonna have better rebels as well. Always something to keep in mind. I think the game is gonna stabilize a little bit. I think one of my personal favorite traits is Swift. Having the extra movability is always great. Although you can get too much of it having a roam zealot Swift, you maybe not need that much. If my Zealot had been a queen, I should have named her Taylor in my first game in the tournament. She was very swift. Jill, my man, when you eventually watch this game, these guys would love to join your empire. I swear to God. They've been sitting here ready and waiting for the last 50 turns. I had a big discussion at work today about Taylor Swift, how she's apparently is impacting the world economy when she flies around and doing concerts. So I don't know much about that. Back to old world. I apologize. But having to fill the air when talking to myself for hours upon hours, I got a Freudian slip eventually. Last time I looked at my view count, I had around 22 viewers. Now it's down to 19. Clearly, 3 people left when I mentioned Taylor Swift. God damn it. Yeah, uh, really nice positioning by Jill. A lot of people make the mistake of defending in front of the city. It's a lot better to be behind the city. It does, however, change in the game when you get to the late game, as people can basically go in and kill the city in one turn. But yeah, uh, I'm pretty sure Tamil is eventually gonna take this city. He did build a road all the way down there, and he did build a settler over here. So he's gonna go for it eventually, but it's not that easy to kill this. But it should be possible. I don't think either player needs forts currently. If anyone is in need of forts, it would be Tamil. But by the time he is building forts, look, we are seeing. Oh, I should turn this one off again. Sorry. Uh, we are seeing forts in Tamil, and I think that's the right call because those very strong axemen can do a lot of work. But, uh, in a few turns we're gonna have elephants. Yeah, maybe one fort or two right here wouldn't be bad. I can see that make sense, Alcaraz. And maybe I should get on the fort train, but I'm just refusing. Uh, yes, problem gambler. This city was captured. Initially, Hati took it first, but he didn't hold for long. Basically, 2 or 3 turns, and then he got attacked by Tamil. So he fell back. Only 2 warriors was lost and the city. You psychopath scientific. What? How? Why would you want that in your games? You like the action and at the same time you love to stack infinite defense. I feel like both players' science started pretty decent, but has been not falling off, but they had an excellent pace earlier, but it didn't really continue. Maybe as the game got filled with some conflict. That's often when the science stops. So the build queues are now all red, building units, which makes sense. But did we rush? Apparently we did rush. I think this game could be maybe not decided, but currently we have 4 laws. Next turn we'll get one of these. If we could get epics and tyranny, and overall it's not a lot of science compared to a lot of other stuff, and it's already marked going to 7 laws, getting this city to pump out the 8 strength elephant archer could be very strong, almost impossible to deal with. And I believe in the video myself and Moose did a few weeks back, I don't think, at least I didn't really clock in how difficult it is to deal with 8 strength mounted units for a long while. I think I would probably increase my estimate of those units if I had to redo the video. So yeah, I think 8 strength elephants would be very crazy. Constant, I have no idea how long they would be playing. Basically, Jill messaged me while I was on the route to something else. Long story short, he asked if I could uh, spectate this game because he would just love someone to give feedback on the game itself. And I wasn't planning on it initially, but I rushed home and got online. I mean, I'm just working up an excuse when I am eventually going to lose to Vovalet and subsequently all the other players in the tournament. I kind of feel like Scientific. He's always he loves to cast, and I honestly also like to cast the games, and I love the games, but I don't feel like I'm playing a lot since I started doing content for Old World. I've played way less the last 2 months compared to my uh, my previous endeavors in the game, but it's all good. Thank you, Constant. It it worked out in the end, so it's all good. Yeah, I agree, Scientific. This seems like a pretty decent map for and we're doing rhetoric. Ooh, I'm once more concerned for Hati. And yeah, I really didn't clock in how strong 8 strength uh, mounted units were gonna be. Don't get me wrong, any 8 strength unit would be quite strong right now, but the counter I kinda envisioned when I made my video was Spearman, sort of. But they are not gonna cut it. Simply as that. I like the scouting. And I really like getting back in the woods. That's lovely. Getting to pikes is often difficult. I really wonder what the game would be like if you had like a better spear. I don't know if that would be you don't need pikemen, but what that would be. Feel like you could have some something other than a pikeman to deal with mounted units before, because it is far away. I don't know exactly how it would work if you had something in between. Maybe you could have like a unit which maybe didn't do a lot of damage. So maybe it was like 6 strength, but it sort of stunned the mounted units for 1 turn. Or something to that extent, and had some bonus versus mounted units, but not a crazy amount. So it wouldn't entirely kill them, but it would sort of stun them for 1 turn. Huge forest fire right in the front. The build queues, I should maybe be a bit more on this. Actually, I've got that feedback, and I agree. 2 warriors, for instance. Why are we building warriors? I wonder if that was just something you started before we got steel. I think so, but yeah, I don't like those build queues. I mean, I may be a bit biased because currently Class is clashing my ass in a game where he's playing Yushi and he's showing me the power of 8 strength mounted units. He's just running straight through my army. Each turn it's getting worse and worse, and I have no counter for a long time. I'm dead in the water, but trying my best. This would be such a cool thing, as Scientific is saying, if it had happened just as an invasion was happening. Kind of had the same energy going in a game I had with Alcaraz, with a flood between a river, basically parted our armies in two, so all my were on one side and all his were on another side, standing eager, ready for action. I kind of spawned a discussion in chat. I'm not gonna apologize for it. Keep yourself entertained while I sip my cola. Yeah, that was the picture I posted a month back. It was a fun match between Alcaraz and myself, I think. I liked that one a lot. And apologies for the players having gone a bit less focused on the game itself, but we are in the build phase. Hanging Gardens, I like this wonder. We are getting it a bit late, I'd say. I might still find some value, but it is not gonna return as much value. When we get there in 10 turns or so, we are gonna be close to the stage of the game where I would mainly concern myself with building units. But if we eventually get to, this is one of my personal favorites, volunteers, and can hurry production with population, it's gonna add a lot of value. So there is that, and that is a reason alone for building hanging gardens. The science is, it's pretty even. Basically neck and neck currently. Overall, the tech choices, if we would like to see them. So right now, this is Tamil clearly looking to get their laws online, and we do have both monasticism and citizenship. So we're also gonna have a lot of orders soon. I would imagine we are building shrines in our cities, and if we haven't, we should, but we not seeing a shrine here. What law did we take? Maybe we haven't adopted a law. No, we seemingly missed the civics. We're having an issue with civics. That's interesting. We are eventually gonna get civic boost, but clearly missing civics right now, which is annoying. But the first Stumpy boys are on the field. The Javelin Elephant coming in hot, just as our opponent stepped forth just a little bit. Probably a mistake. Going into Harty's tech right here. They've opted to go down in this direction. They've gotten steel as well and polish. However, they still lack monasticism and citizenship. I would like to see monasticism. I think we're gonna need the orders eventually. I think that's the main thing right now. We are sort of having more production than we know what to do with. We're building nothing but axemen. And if we're building, oh, actually a little bit. I think workers is a pretty good. Only 9 workers. Say that's also a bit on the low end. What is improvements looking like? All game, Tamlikam has been ahead by a little bit. It's not crazy different, but it is still something. He probably had a worker or 2 more for a lot of the game, and we do see the value from those workers right now. But man, I really gotta give props to Jill. I remember he posted a game a few months back, and I actually believe I have a video on my channel back from March maybe, where he basically asked help to save a game. So I posted a video of saving that game, and he's come a long way since then. So mad props to Gel for what he's been doing. I love players sticking around the community and just loving the game because I like the game as well. I'm a bit scared about all the players improving too fast. Feel like the edge I maybe had 30 days ago is really quickly disappearing behind me. But with that said, I am cutting. Uh, does that phrase even work in English? I don't know. No, but I'm posting videos improving players' skill level, so I can't really complain. I feel like we've put a bit more of our science in Hati into stuff like bonus cards overall. So I feel like we had a bit more efficient science in Tamalikam. Although there is a Camel Archer coming, which is gonna be a pretty good counter, and it's gonna cycle and get us back to sovereignty faster. So I see that. I'm a I am a victim of my own content, but to be fair, I am just making the content to have an excuse. Uh, that's the only reason. This is all just ploy to have the excuses ready. I could also just train and get good. You wouldn't believe it, but you actually get rusty when you don't play a strat for a month or so. You forget the small things. Just yesterday I started a game with landowners and forget to build a governor turn one. So I feel like half the time I'm mainly just relearning what I learned a month ago each time I'm playing a new game. Maybe I've peaked. I saw the community member Wetlander post some absolutely crazy settings for a single player game, and that I decided to give it a go, and I quickly realized how absolutely insane and impossible that challenge was. Basically, all the AIs maxed out to all their bonuses and playing with 6 AIs or 5 AIs and having the score set to low. That seemed absolutely impossible. Holy damn. I thought I was doing good, and then suddenly they came with 7 laws turn 40. Yeah, we are seeing Tamil moving down south. They are gonna go for the Danish city very soon. This is another thing, like I really think it's expensive to upgrade units overall. Looking at this, this is basically the training cost for the unit itself and the entire cost for the axeman. Just as if you were building the axeman straight up, same cost. So you are basically paying to delete your warrior and replace it with an axeman. I don't I don't like that value proposition. I'm trying to avoid having a lot of units to upgrade. Uh, Sometimes it can be necessary, and sometimes it's very much worth it for a timing push. Like if you are Yushi and get 8 horse archers, suddenly that's well worth it, or something to that extent. Yeah, it's well worth it for timings, but what Gel is doing right now is basically having built up a lot of warriors, and now he got the better units, so now he's just upgrading the warriors. I'd say maybe keep some of these warriors you don't know what you would need them for, and they could maybe later be upgraded directly into macemen or directly into spearmen or whatever. Um, yeah, but I feel like he's just upgrading for the sake of it, or at least to some extent. He does see this is coming, so I mean there is it's not without reason he's doing what he's doing, but he did, at least in my opinion, overbuild a lot of axe or sorry warriors early on in the game. I maybe just don't like paying. I just like being ahead by then. Hmm. Don't get me wrong, guys. I do get the fact that you can get a lot of value from upgrading, and believe me, I do upgrades myself. I'm I'm sort of in the same boat, scientific eye. The main thing I dislike about crossbowmen currently is that I feel like they are too far away on the tech tree. The unit itself is pretty decent, but it feels it feels like you need too much tech to get it online in time most of the time. But I don't know. I also feel like in general this whole line down here, it was dominant last tournament, but we are not seeing a lot of it. Having windmills moved and um, the ballista nerfed and the maps in a different pool really did it change how often going down here is. I still believe the old version of crossbowmen was overpowered, so I'm glad they changed it. Maybe I'll need them in my game versus Vovalet, although Aaron couldn't save himself with crossbowmen versus Vovalet. Civic boosts, forestry, both good options. Probably advise civic boost most of the time. Yep, seems like we're doing just that. What is the graph looking like currently? It's again very even, impressively so. That is army. This is science. Ooh, we've increased our science by a pretty fair margin recently. This is orders. Also, we are ahead by a little bit. What does legitimacy look like? Yeah, it's mainly legitimacy. How did we get back to that high of a legitimacy? Did we change ruler again? No. Uh, resource. Oh, we. This is actually quite clever. Sometimes when you get a new leader, it can be worthwhile to go for the resourceful. You can look up the requirements for the cognomen, but in essence, right here, just vegetation removed and resources harvested. Doing a lot of this in the span of a few turns can net you 50 legitimacy, Very neat trick to get exactly what you need. Uh, Alcaraz has the science go or the numbers going. 17 harvests is what is required. So sometimes in some games where you get a new ruler, getting that legitimacy going real fast can be well worth it. And right now, this leader is doing pretty well. It is a judge. Judge is always a good time in the middle of the game, and intelligent and brave and bold. I mean, this is not bad at all. And we are seeing inquiries. I like the build queues a lot more in Tabletop, and the build queues in the entire game seemingly have been a bit more to my liking, whereas it's mainly been units down in Hearty. We do see some variance, a bit more variance over here, but without ever being threatened. And these elephants are gonna be so strong versus this. But I honestly think what he's doing is almost even better. He's not even looking to really push with said elephants. He just needs a few to secure his defensive position, and he's looking for the seven lord timing for real attack. I agree, Alcaraz. I think resourceful is it should be changed, honestly. It feels like a cheat code sometimes doing just that. Yeah, and scientific saying sort of the same thing. And if that's the approach, I think that's yeah. One thing I've taken a liking to do in some games, it's rarely or rare you can do it, is to spam kill the same tribe camp over and over, which often is difficult to do on the small maps. But if you have some orders to spare, killing the same tribe 12 times, I believe it is gonna the white. What is it? There is the white ghost or something. 60 legitimacy. I like that as well. That is pretty cool. It's not something you can do easy and fast, but it is something you do in the beginning of the game and set yourself up for having a nice name to yourself. In my first tournament game, my two first rulers died before the year 30. I was on my third ruler by the time the game ended turn 36. I still think I've had the worst luck in the tournament with rulers dying, although it is a very low sample size. But still, two dead by a year 30. I think that's a record. Alright, problem gambler, you have me beat. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're probably not wrong, Alcaraz, but you kinda caused that yourself. To be fair, I believe I had taken an event to be cursed in my tournament game, so I kind of feel like I'm forgetting to cast. I'm just chatting with you guys, which is cozy, but I mean, there isn't. Tell me if I'm missing something crucial, chat, but it feels like we are sort of at the build-up phase of the game. I like this that they're kind of standing up, but look here. We did get the free camel, and our 7 law is coming. Uh, we do have the civics in 8 turns or so. We are gonna be. Oh, we even have a judge. Never mind, it's gonna be in 3 turns. We can build 8 strength units or upgrade our current units, and nothing in Hati can deal with it. I hope this game is just gonna continue for the time being, but maybe it's getting late. I don't know if they. How long have I been streaming for? Around 3 hours? Yeah, we shall see how long they continue for. An army composition breakdown. Um, Currently in the army, we are mainly witnessing uh, spearmen, a million spearmen, it would seem like, and 4 javelin elephants, camel archer, and a couple of slingers. 7 slingers, 5 mounted, and 14 infantry in Tamil. And in Hati, let me go to Hati. Thank you, game. Uh, Sort of the same story to some extent, with only 7 ranged, 2 mounted instead of 5, and our spearman has suddenly picked up an axe. So overall, pretty equal, but crucial. We have nothing to counter the elephants. Machinery isn't bad. If if we can get some forts, some onagers going, we could maybe just stand our ground and hold. That is actually actually I wouldn't call it a counter by any means, but still something that feels like it can hold what is coming. We are seeing a lot of shuffling around, but the main story is, in my opinion, still, as the game progresses, Tamil is still just, at least according to a lot of small metrics, slowly but certainly getting further ahead. What would you suggest if any of you were to swap out with Gel? You have perfect information about your opponent. What would you suggest Gel to do in this? This is his current tech, and we cannot talk about what he should have done. We're talking about what he'd do. Maybe camels is an offer. Maybe we could go towards camels. We could build camels in this city, in a rider city, this city. Could go for quite a lot of camels maybe. I'm not seeing any good answers. So we mostly agree the solution was probably 25 turns ago, switching to a different production queue, including more specialists, get ahead. But for now, machinery is not a bad call. Stay standing behind forts with onagers is always gonna buy you some time. Upgrade some warriors into spears, yeah, but I don't think that's gonna cut it. Um, one turn, and it's gonna be tough. We'll have at least 2 cities capable of building. You don't need this switch to something else. One turn of council, and then go directly for the next unit. Can upgrade if we remember. That is a thing people are prone to forget. Forgetting you have a judge able to upgrade. Um, by the way, I love the engagement in chat. It's keeping me very much entertained. So I appreciate it a lot, guys. Uh, it's a lot more entertaining to cast when you're not casting by yourself. All right, fort in the back. Get some onagers in there. Would you build walls in your front cities, guys? You know what's coming. Are we building? Is this a situation for walls? Why are we first building a barrack now in here? I wonder. I mean, better late than never. But no barracks in here. No barracks. Oh, one barrack. We have a severe lack of barracks, and we are seemingly moving in towards the Danes. We don't have a settler, so I really don't know what we are looking to accomplish. We do have pretty good information about our opponent, so yeah, I'm not really certain what you are looking to accomplish right here, Gel. Could be you not having any actual workers to spend the orders on, so feel like you gotta do something. I kinda get that feeling as well sometimes. You eventually get to a state. Okay, we're gonna be looking for upgrades to these. We did switch, it would seem like, our building queues. But you sort of get into the mental state, I gotta use all my orders. And sometimes there just isn't any great use case for any orders for a particular turn. Which are we going for? Tyranny or Constitution? Honestly, probably Tyranny is better here. Yeah, chopping wood is actually a good call for Hati. Hati is especially good at that. But adopt one of these and upgrade your strongholds. That would be such a strong move. Going for Wonder, not a very offensive one. And I missed this. Hati is going for Yasilkaya. I like that a lot. That's a very good call. I'm sorry and apologize for missing that. But Yasilkaya is such a great late game and mid game wonder. One of the better ones. We did have the civics just before, or did I just miss it? Or did we adopt it? Or did we lack another order? Oh, yeah, we just used the civics, obviously, for building a wonder. He just used the civics for building a wonder. So, can we tell what it... I just wanted to showcase what it's... what the price is for everybody not in the know. Here, 300 civics. We are missing that. That seems like a mistake to me. That seems like a mistake. Honestly, and I've done this sometimes, you sort of forget about the civic cost for a wonder. You just realize, oh, I could build a wonder, I'm gonna do. Then you build it, and then you realize, oh, hold up, wait a minute, I need those civics. I'm so stupid. Yeah, I mean, that is without a doubt a mistake. Everything was lined up perfectly, and well, that happened. So at least I got a tip for heitlinger96 when he's rewatching this video. I don't feel I've provided much value to the guys, especially Heitlinger, and I sort of apologize for that, Heitlinger. I could maybe have done um, better cast, but I am a bit tired and just having a good time. Holy shit, my computer is doing stuff in the background. It's very slow when changing player. But yeah, um, for this turn at least I have some feedback. But don't worry, Scientific is saying Mausoleum is great though. So he also said some other stuff in chat, but I'll not mention that. All right, we bought ourselves some time with Hachi. So we are able to get onagers, which is nice. But uh, 10 workers in our entire kingdom, which isn't impressive, and all our build queues have mainly been warriors the entire units the entire time. And our opponents having 12 workers, so a bit further. I still think you could have more workers overall in Tamale. You don't need as many units as you're currently having. Maybe Tamale doesn't realize how strong a position they would actually be in if they built their powerful age strength unique unit. So perhaps they are in the mindset that this is gonna be a point victory, so I need the wonders. And don't get me wrong, I am without a doubt they can pull off a point victory in this game. But they could look. This is it's even upset currently. Look how devastating this unit is. It's having cleave. There is no counter it, and look what an Axeman is gonna do. Axeman is maximum gonna do 5 damage, and we're gonna do 8 damage, cause panic and cleave damage, and this is even while we are upset, while how these are not happy units. So kind of equal, but still, overall, seemingly we've gotten scared in Tamalikam. But then we are also just moving our units around. Not, I don't know exactly what to make of this. It seems like we would like to go in, and we could go in, but we are not really committing. Moving around a lot of these small units, but please move the elephants, good sir. The elephants are a lot stronger than anything else. But yeah, overall, I think Tamilkam could have built more workers and done more stuff with the workers. But one of the reasons they can have a lot of different builds and still keeping up in military is simply better production. They have better military production, so they don't need to put every build queue into military. Whereas Harty is kind of found himself in a place where all the build queues, alright, we are building one officer, which I like, but more or less all the build queues are entirely focused on building military the entire time. And we should have found the time for some specialists, for a few more workers, for something like that. Yeah. I'm sad we didn't move our other elephant here, but we are still having issues with this. Are we intercession? We are trying to make someone like us a lot. Governor, your nephew. I wonder why we would like him to love us. He is very strong though. And is he the heir? No, but he is very strong. And he is, after all, the governor in what I thought was this city, but that's not the case. I would maybe instead of uh, intercession religion here, I would maybe try to convert, but we probably don't have the family, oh sorry, the tech for it, obviously. So I'm being stupid right now. We don't have metaphysics, so I'm being stupid. I am being stupid. I'm also a bit tired. I apologize. Heitlinger seems like an excellent single player and a great player overall, by all means. I've seen him a few times post a game on Game of the Week thread on Discord, and I think he's pulling off stuff I don't know how to, and there is a lot of stuff in this game I don't know a lot about, and I think he's the type of guy to bring that. So I have a lot of respect for him, but I think he's having um, some issues sort of reading the game state of where he is compared to his opponent, and I think he could um, maybe improve that, but I don't know, could be wrong. But he's it's looking very even, but I really think it is not as even. But the science, with all I've said, the science is still very even. So, how are we actually keeping up so much in science in Hattusa? Is it all Hattusa? Could be. 24 science. No, that's not it. That's not. I think dualism is netting us a lot of science, honestly. 7 science. Okay, it's not a lot, but it is something. And Yeah, I mean, it is giving Tamarikam a little edge. Holy damn. Look at this, guys. Praise the old ones and the new. We are rushing an officer. That's amazing. You'll love to see it. Or I love to see it. Good job, Jill. Keep it going. How happy are our citizens overall? I'm looking at the discontent. 4, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3, compared to 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3. Pretty even overall. No one really has done a lot about that. I believe our families are supposedly decent. We also got Judaism. I missed that 20 turns ago, so we got all the religion that could work in our favor if we are going for the point victory. But I mean, 3 wonders for the opponent. This I'm currently watching the point of view for Hati. So this is what Hati can see currently on the front. And they recently had a scout right here, but all the forest got chopped by a worker. I never really commented on it, I apologize, but basically all the woods are gone, so soon there will be no scouts around this area. 3 turns and 0 turns. So happens to the best of us. We got it. We apparently got the civics we needed. Did we take into civic boosts? Was that how we got around to it? I don't believe so. No, we still have it in the pool. So yeah, I just love deciphering what this is. Bonus card for javelin elephants, of course. And look, we are building elephant archer. We could even have upgraded these bad boys. Oh, never mind. Yeah, we did upgrade the citadel and now we're building the stronghold. But we didn't upgrade the 2 elephant archers we just spawned. And I like this. Oh, we are upgrading down here. We are upgrading down here. So we did not forget we could do that. But I really like that 1 elephant is going towards the top lane and 1 is going towards the bot lane. Really splitting the forces. But uh, elephant archer, it's the family that is upset. That is annoying. But just looking at this, look at the devastation we can do. And that is an upset elephant. Imagine if it was happy. We are gonna have Stumpy boys. And I like how the players was concerned about delaying the game a little bit so I could be here from the get-go. but they've seemingly been playing for close to 4 hours now. And I like that. I like the energy. I hope they keep it going, but not for way too long. I maybe got around an hour or so left in me before I gotta go call it quits and go to bed. I'll probably in half an hour or so ask the players how long they continue to go on for, if they would like to do it all in one session. If anyone would like to tag along and co-cast or uh, take over the cast, let me know. But as of right now, we may get a conclusion with these eunuch units absolutely destroying anything we've got in Hati. Hati doesn't have a response, at least not in my honest opinion. So this could very well be over in a not too distant future. So I'm gonna sit tight, but as said, in around an hour I might be leaving. Ish. Back to Tomlicam. Are we gonna upgrade? I hope so. We don't have the food. We are missing some food, even though we have decent income, but we're getting to the phase of the game where you might consider swapping out of centralization into vassalage. I think there is a lot of value to be had right here. Look how many resources each turn we would save compared to 5 science. This could be worthwhile. Also a bit of an opinion boost right here. But honestly, we just need more lovely farms to build our lovely Stumpy boys. So sell some iron, buy what we need. But we will also need wood, and wood is gonna be expensive soon, and we, at least to my knowledge, do not have forestry. No, we do not. I don't understand the machinery pick here. I would have opted to go for composite bow. I'm almost certain. Get ranges online in all our cities. We might as well. Um, Maybe we are going machinery for the goods boost, but I don't see why we would need onagers. But that is my take. I feel like the sound is very low. Maybe I'm mistaken. Yeah, this could be a turtle up, and I hope it isn't the case because we had a pretty good 7 lord timing going. It felt like it sort of came out of nowhere, but suddenly we had 7 lords and we are not really looking to do anything with it. Our opponent is building forts and standing there with spearmen, and we have Stumpy boys that's just gonna crush the opposition basically. Maybe not crush, but gonna do pretty good. So I am a bit confused. I am a bit confused. But again, I believe your assessment of the game, Heitlinger, right now is probably correct. I think he knows he is ahead. I think he knows he can probably have fewer of his build queues just preoccupied with building his very strong unit and have the rest just build economy and wonders, and then he would win the long game. So I can see why you may opt to go in this direction. Um, but it still saddens me we are not seeing an aggression. Science, he is ahead by something, and look at the orders especially. And that is the other thing we didn't talk a lot about, or I did a bit earlier, but we've managed to spread our Hinduism to all our cities. And one thing about the 7-lord timing is that you are also gonna have both divine rule and monotheism online, which is gonna crave a lot of. Oh, looks like they might be stopping somewhat soon. And that's gonna work out for all of us, I think. The game sound is a bit loud. I'm gonna turn them down then. Maybe I just turned down for. Oh, misclick. I appreciate the feedback, Alcaraz. Thank you. And sorry for the flashbang just before. Maybe do a deep dive of Hati. It's been a while. We're going for the goods boost, and I can see that 7-lord timing. Our science is has gone in a different direction. We've yet to put down either monasticism or citizenship. We even need phalanx at this point. We really lack the orders currently because, yeah, if we were to take an engagement right now, we would almost certainly lose, both by quality but also by quantity of units one can move each turn. We do maybe have the sort of equal standing army right now. The spearmen are gonna do good versus the spearmen, but getting countered. But yeah, overall it's not that impressive. Um, Given these choices we got here, I would probably say I would love goods boost, but I need monasticism right now. I need that, and then I would need to go towards divine rule afterwards. But yeah, it looks like we are gonna close out soon-ish. I don't know exactly when they said 10 minutes, but it's probably around now. So these are the current stats orders, as I was referring to just a minute ago. That is quite the difference. Military score, pretty even overall. Science, I mean, it's still pretty equal. Stats improved. Oh, it's not without the possibility of a comeback right here. So right now, I think I think Tamlikam is standing to win this game. He does have the wonders. He does have the better tech currently, but we'll see in the next session. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching, and hopefully you had fun. And thank you to the players. And again, I apologize for talking a bit to the chat during the stream. I maybe could have given you more advice, but nevertheless, hope you are gonna enjoy. And uh, looks like I'll need a save as well. And yeah, uh, besides that, we will see how this game concludes. And next time, I don't know if I'll be casting it and when it will be. But look at the Discord and look at the Per Ank website. Hopefully, a lot of good games are coming your way. But I think I'll sign off right here. I am uh, tired and off to bed in a not too distant future. So thank you for watching and have a lovely evening. Bye bye.